Whistleblowers need a network of an institutional, professional, and psychological support. The act of disclosure often triggers deep personal and professional consequences that require holistic interventions.
The very people who complain about corruption and poor service delivery turn a blind eye to the plight of whistleblowers who can't afford to pay school fees, buy books, or school uniforms. The point I'm making here is that wellness is a real issue for whistleblowers.
When we talk about culture, is how do we create cultures where we're discussing things so openly that I know who are the people that think like me, that when I see something wrong happening, I know who to trust.
So we've kind of been in this quite a long process of interrogating, of analysis, of putting forth recommendations with kind of variable political will around actually taking the bold steps to institute new laws, new legislation, new institutions.
Ultimately, the lagging indicators that whistleblowing is not a magic potion. It is the last resort, signaling that our prevention systems have already failed.
The process for many, it seems as if it's a very easy thing to do until they are faced with the information before them that a disclosure isn't as simple as you making a disclosure and getting rewarded for it. Unfortunately, there are repercussions and consequences that we have spoken throughout the day about, such as financial exclusion and exposing your family to some violent harms that we've seen.
My name is Chrissy Dube. I'm the Chief Stakeholders Project and Advocacy Officer at Good Governance Africa. My key takeaway from today's session is that whistleblowing is the key to uncovering corruption in South Africa and is the actual tangible channel that has uncovered gross corruption in the country. For example, state capture was through a whistleblower, and that was uncovered, and the Zondo Commission was then a result of that. Unfortunately, whistleblowers are affected adversely in the processes, and what I would love to see more of is whistleblowers being not only empowered, but also being protected, and where there is a need, being compensated for loss of income and livelihoods as a result of whistleblowing. What we also want to see less of is people being assassinated, and this speaks to the whistleblower protection. However, the bill that has been put out for comments and contributions, there isn't enough time for civil society and other stakeholders to effectively contribute into feedback as the date is soon approaching for the closure. So overall, we need to ensure that action is taken now. There is no more time to waste. No more lives need to be lost for doing the right thing.
Hi, I'm Kaukalo Mitlapi. I'm a Governance and Ethics Officer. One thing that has heightened a little bit more of my awareness regarding the protection of whistleblowers is that we all have a role to play. Where initially a lot of responsibility is placed on the whistleblower, or the burden is mostly placed on the whistleblower to carry the facts of whatever the matter they're facing, there is a lot of responsibility for us as society to also ensure that our whistleblowers are properly protected. While we have good laws and regulations in place, where do we stand as a society with regards to the implementation of such laws and policies, be it policies in our organizations, be it the ethical culture that we carry in the households, be it our own personal individual opinions and views about the role of the whistleblower in society. Do we see a whistleblower as an isolated, independent person who is bearing the cross of reporting the fraud, corruption, the unethical conduct where they sit? Or do we see them as a small piece of the puzzle to a bigger picture of what more is going on in society? So I feel really honored to have been part of the discussions with the panel. Again, the keynote address by Professor Maseko has just also reminded us that once a whistleblower has done their part, we as society seem to forget about what happens to them, the detriment that follows them beyond that. the effects on their family lives, the effects on their economic life. Where does society place them? Do we forget them, we honor them, and we move on with our lives? Do we carry a message from the cause of their life? Were their lives lost in whistleblowing? Were they in vain, or are we taking home key lessons? So while it's still early in the engagements, I do believe I've gained quite a bit, and I look forward to the rest of the discussion.